the Reimagine series, that's been going on for quite a while now, where they tend to bring that magic that is a bit different from the original version of the song that we know. And interesting right now, Legacy City, we do have the man, the brain, behind, that particular movement, the icon himself, the living legend. Even though I'm pretty sure I would say, don't call me a living legend, but the living legend himself, ID Cabasa, in the building with us right now. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
It is. It is fantastic. They were to have you in the studio with us, and we gotta say first and foremost, man, kudos and big ups to everything that you represent, for Nigerian music and Afrobeats, in general, man. For real. All the work that you've put in, it cannot be understated. It cannot be.
Absolutely.
That's where the foundation, started from, right there, for the new generation of artists that came, during, your era. And leading into the new generation of artists that we have now, yes.
100%.
Yes.
With a career that has spanned decades at this stage, and honestly withstood the test of time.
No, you make me.
No, I'm not trying to make you feel that way, but I think it's a real testament to your talent and your ability to adapt. So I want to ask you, what is the secret to that? Being able to, maintain that creativity, being able to maintain that edge, and maintain a career that withstood the test of time ultimately.
Okay, so I get asked this question a lot, and for me, the answer has not changed, because that's still what I still do, and that is, I have this thing about learning. Trying to stay humble to learn, understanding that, look, times and seasons will change, sound will always change, people will change, what people are feeling will change, stories will change. Though all of this change will not remove the basics, foundation about these things. The truth still will remain the same, but most times the way we do, how we do, and some of those things will change. So I try as much as possible to stay as a learner.
Okay.
I'm trying to ask the next generation, what are you guys feeling? What are you guys doing? Then there's also the part of me that I don't hinge too much on experience. Experience is good. It's cool. It's good to be experienced, but experience is like, over the years I've described it as a comb that life gives to you after you have lost your hair. It's what has worked. You understand? It is what has worked, and it's very easy to find comfort in what has worked.
Right.
But you don't grow by being comfortable. So if you are looking for that growth, there is a need to look for what will work rather than what has worked.
Right.
So I treat it like this, like I'm driving and I'm supposed to be facing forward. If I hinged on experience, I might be looking at what has happened behind, and I can't move forward.
Right.
So the best way to undo what is behind is to look at the rear mirror, which is very small, right in front of you. All you do is peep what is happening or what has happened behind you for you to move forward. So that's how I treat experience. I try to put that part of discipline in me, that I don't want to settle in a place of I've done this, done that, and I don't want to learn what is being done now. Because like I said learning earlier, the hardest thing to learn are probably the things that you know. You will always assume you know it, but most times updates will come, not even with sound. That soundscape is changing almost on a monthly basis. Don't let me even say yearly basis again. We're rocking Amapiano, then now everybody is switching. Absolutely. And everybody will still switch from whatever we are doing now. So there is a need to constantly be on your toes, to want to learn. And the day you stop learning, I think that's the day you start getting old.
Yes.
Right. But what do you find most fascinating about the new generation?
I like their energy. I like their boldness. Sometimes the boldness is being misinterpreted as being rude. And all of those things. I like their boldness. Then I like the fact that they didn't experience some of the things that we experienced, because this has helped them to have a sort of borderless mindset towards creativity. Some of us creativity was beaten out of some of us. We were told some things will not work. We were told we should not explore some things. But I think also with technology, you understand, it makes it easier for them to see the world in a better place. Now you don't really have to travel abroad to know what is going on abroad. The internet is a global You understand? Wow. So I think they have it. Then they have information too. They have information at the snap of the finger. They have information. DeepSeek is there. AI and all of those things is giving them information. So I think they have an edge, which is to me a very positive thing.
Right.
You understand? And let me also say that I like the fact that they are also energetic.
Of course.
Yeah, they are so energetic. They don't believe in barriers. Sometimes that could also become a problem, but it's still a good energy if well channeled.
Bibi, have you ever wondered why ID Cabasa bettered the Reimagine series? Have you ever wondered why?
I actually gave it some thoughts because I've got some questions about about this series. So we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But I figured that maybe it was your way of trying to incorporate the new generation into something legendary that we all know and that we all love. But I do want to hear it from you. Why did you?
Well, I think you got a part of it.
Okay.
So for me, I'm in that stage of my life that I'm not really about what a lot of young people are looking for, which is to blow.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
If I say I want to blow now, it's like me, I want to saying I want to die.
It's like I beg no stress me.
So for me, it's more about the eternal value of what I'm doing, which is the essence. A lot of times we pass the test of popularity, but we fail the test of essence. Where the long game, you understand? So that is a part of it. Then there's the part also, which is about the culture. If you notice, people are trying to, let me use the word, reimagine what Afrobeats is in terms of the story, the narratives around it. We all had Akon. What Akon?
Yeah, said. I saw your response to that.
You understand? Before Akon said that, some other people have started suggesting, almost like trying to suggest to us that Afrobeat is not ours. That they named Afrobeat, they did all of this. And what I found out is, if we don't own our narratives, if we don't tell where we are coming from, we are lost where we are. Now, this does not mean that people should keep the sound. No. But I'm just saying the narratives around it, the history and all of those things. So that was one of the major reason for me why I said, okay, if we think that nobody paved the way, or we think that this sound just came from
nowhere,
let me remind you guys that this, you understand, and at the same time, the legends are getting angry that they are not being respected. The young guys are saying that the legends are doing too much. For me, rather than having all of those fights, why not let us collaborate? So I felt, let the young guys come on what some of these legends have done, and let us imagine that this is 2000, this is 2007, and all of that.
Okay, awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's immense. That's immense. That's huge.
Absolutely. We have got more with ID Cabasa. We're going to be picking his brains. I've got some questions for you about the Reimagine series because, we've got to get to the bottom of a couple of things.
I know, right? Let's go play another one. And I love this one. Like, growing up, I was the biggest Star Plus fan.
Oh.
So when I heard that the Olufemi Reimagine popped up, I was like this, I gotta listen to it because I love the original version,
right?
So I want to hear what it is that was created with the Reimagine, and I have to say ID Cabasa, I was not disappointed. Like the love I have for the original stands still, but the love that I feel for this one, for the Reimagine is something exactly.
You tune in to the Max Hits right here on 102.3 FM with me, Bibi Ray, and of course, Real Skills. We're hanging out with you all the way up until 3 p.m.
Yes.
And in the studio right now is none other than the legendary
ID Cabasa. Yes.
We're sitting down, we're picking his brains. Now, that particular song was probably my favorite off the Reimagined.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, it was my favorite because just like you, I am a huge Style Plus fan, right?
Nice.
So, by the way, with the release of the Reimagined, I was like, oh my God, I hope they're not going to butcher it. Like, please, God, let it live up to my expectations. And I think it did. But I do think the first time I listened to it, yes, let's get into it. Okay, the first time I listened to it, I was like, wait, hold on. We've got these romantic voices that are serenading the microphone. We've got Bodge, we've got Fireboy, we've got Joe Boy.
Yeah.
We've got Big Cloud. It's like, wait, what? And I opened up my Twitter, and I was not alone. A lot of people were talking about, does Odumodu fit on this song? Because Odumodu comes through with a sort of like brash, big, bad, rugged energy to a love song. So as the orchestrator all the be reimagined, obviously, picking these artists on your song, what made you decide to go with Odumodu? Because I would have loved to hear like maybe a Vector, a romantic rapper. You know what I mean?
Or maybe M.I. Abaga.
Or maybe an M.I. Exactly.
So question: do you think every Nigerian can afford 3 square meals? So there is a perception that we all keep, and we stick to those opinions, and we think that is the map of the world. Map of the world in terms of we think that is how
the only way to do it.
So for me, we were trying to tell a story. We presented 4 guys, 4 different characters. We presented Fireboy. If you had watched the video, then you will see the different characters that we presented. Fireboy was saying in the song, "Only you, they my corner, they my sakutu." But right in the video, you could see 2 other girls. Right in that corner.
His circle and his square.
So that is to tell you, this one is a playboy. We brought Odumodu in because sincerely, if you go to the streets, if you feel the pulse of the streets, that is how they express
love.
I'm being sincere with you. And if you listen to Odu,
a little bit rugged.
So we need to also know that these guys too also fall in love. It is not always. In fact, one of
there's love on the streets of Lagos.
Can you imagine and Big Kala falling in love with the girl and calling the girl and trying to, and if you notice in the video, the girl was not even giving him any sort of audience. He was trying to, soft girl like you, she was trying to rebuff him. Then we brought in,
like you.
So we brought in the softest of them all, Budge. But like Kaka's wife said, Kaka was too perfect. Budge was too perfect for the play. We brought Joe Boy, which is in between Budge and Fireboy. She still said no. Now guess who she now followed?
Big Kala.
No. She went with the OG.
Hey!
So technically, it's a story we're trying to tell. At the end of the day, when you're going to make the decisions to fall in love, what are the decisions you are making? She's not sure of Fireboy because she knows of the
He's a player.
playboy tendency. She's not even listening to Big Kala, which in a way, you guy that you're on the streets, that you feel that is the best way to go. This is how ladies will hear. Because I'm an artist, I'm a storyteller. We're trying to tell a story, we're trying to create, but it's like if I create it in such a way that you can guess how it's going to end, then that means I'm not being creative. So once in a while, if you see some beautiful artworks, you just see black, white, or you just see one blue on it. It's not a mistake.
It's intentional.
Sometimes, let's be sincere with ourselves. That is what we focus on. Even if it is this small. And that was why most of the focus was on Odumodu. And Odumodu did justice when
I agree. Actually, I do agree.
You understand? It really helped us to push the song.
And the interesting thing about you breaking down the dynamics of the song is the fact that this is actually what happens in real life. Where a girl looks at say 4 different guys, and then she's trying to figure out who do I go with? Some girls want the bad boy. Some girls like, I can't go with the player. He's gonna play me and break my heart. This guy is too street. We know the story of Achalugo. And when the Odogu came, it's like the way you talk with this boutique accent, so they don't want to go with that. And then they're looking at that gentle guy. This one is too gentle. And it still puzzles me when you say you want a good guy, and then you say the guy is too good and it's too soft.
Look at Kaka now. Kaka, the babe actually divorced him because he was too soft. Like he's too perfect for her.
Look at the way BB is like,
I'm just
you can relate, but you've done that before.
I'm minding my business.
You can relate. You've done that before.
Don't drag me into this.
But let's get back into the conversation, and the reimagines have been coming at us back to back. Is it culminated into an album?
Yeah, definitely. The album should be out either next month or latest July.
Okay.
So the album is going to be a 12-track album, which is all round reimagined songs. By the way, I'm also trying to bring something that I think is missing right now. People don't really tell stories again with their music, which was why I said the eternal value. So if you go through what I've been doing. Trying to tell a story, first photocopy, which was more about your identity.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. Then we went for Olufumi. After Olufumi, we did Beremi. Beremi was more, in fact, Beremi too was an old classic that then people started hearing it. Then they heard the story of T.I. Blaze. They heard the story of where, what is it called?
Zlatan is
coming from.
Yes.
Then this You understand the pain that people feel on the streets. Yeah, we went through all of this just to survive without doing any crime and all of that. So it's a story that I'm trying to tell. And I'm not like some have been saying that it's only nice, and Olufemi does not belong to nice.
True that.
There are some other songs that actually that I'm not taking from my own catalog, which is my catalog with people like Nice Olamide, that are going to be on that. And by the way, I'm using more of Nice's songs because I think Nice represents. We can't talk so much about his legendary status because Nice actually represents a movement and energy that came into the industry and changed almost everything, the way everybody sounded. So I'm also trying to bring back that era where you can actually be different and still stand out.
Man, huge. By the way, I'm curious, was there any reimagine that you thought about making and then you change your mind and say, nah, like, before the ones that, you dropped,
There are so several. There was one that they even recorded that I cancelled the song.
Why?
No, I won't even mention it. He knows the song that I'm talking about. So, like I said, I'm trying to create stuff that will have eternal value.
Yes.
So I can't afford to also destroy people's life.
With the music as well.
There is something I stand for, you understand, that does not really align with that particular song. Great record that I'm sure that if we should drop it today, my DJ is there with me. He will tell you that everywhere we scatter. You understand? When we recorded the first one, we were trying to discourage something. I'm sure you will start guessing now, and you might get this song. We were trying to discourage something, but people turned what we were trying to discourage into we are telling them to do it. Then the second one that they are trying to reimagine, that I was still trying to make them look that look, try to discourage people from doing this. All the artists that I brought on it were firing because it's a major reason. Initially, in fact, that thing nearly made me cancel the whole project because I didn't want to offend the guys that were on it. It took a lot of energies for them to be on it. Then all of a sudden, first person came, they opted out. Second person came, and they didn't know that was my prayer being answered. You understand? You should know the song that I'm talking about. It belongs to Nice.
No, I'm trying to pick that in my head right now.
It's about substance.
I figured. I just knew.
I think I know the song now. I think I know the song.
I just knew.